Go back to prison. I did 4 years in prison. Plan on ever going back to prison.
Because when they listen to jail calls, you aren't helping yourself at all.
She indicated that during the pendency of this case, this defendant wound up having 3 different attorneys. He was in prison already for a violent offense, which was a felony 1 aggravated robbery case.
Is present today without an attorney. The state is represented by Teresa Hyatt. Mr. Ward.
Robberies in Baldwin County has been arrested in Ohio. We told you last week the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office was looking for this man, Leandre Ward. Well, tonight Ward is sitting in jail in Dayton, Ohio. Deputies there say Ward shot a man several times during a drug deal. After that, deputies say he led them on a high-speed chase. Then he jumped out and took off running.
According to this, on June 6, 2025, you were convicted of reckless driving in Mobile County. Reckless driving, it doesn't say whether you were convicted or not. I assume you were convicted of reckless driving in Mobile, Alabama. And on January 29, 2029, you were convicted of a illegal possession of a firearm in Clark County, Alabama. This could result in revocation of your community control, imposition of the sentence that was reserved. Would you like to have legal counsel?
And I would like to represent myself, Your Honor.
You sure about that?
You sure? Because you could go to prison.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get this out the way. If I may.
End of flashback.
Those were all misdemeanors, right?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Yes.
Oh, no, one.
The gun charge was a felony, but the obstruction as well as the 2 traffic were misdemeanors.
Okay, what was the felony?
It was a certain person's forbidden to possess a firearm.
Okay, possession of firearm. Okay.
I think there was some confusion last time he came in. I wasn't here, but what I've been able to piece together about the sentence that he got there, I think he mostly got what their equivalent of community control there. I think there was a question about whether he got 10 years or something crazy like that, which he did not get. So he wanted to make sure the court knows that the sentences there were not significant.
Okay. Anything from probation?
Your Honor, like the defense attorney stated, there was some confusion. Alabama does their sentencing a little bit different. Regardless of those sentences, Mr. Ward has a parole holder through Montgomery County, and they have stated that he will be facing a parole violation and will likely be going back to prison on that, as well as due to the violations and his behavior while in community control, I do not believe that he's a fit for community control.
Okay, thank you. Anything, Ms. Hyatt?
Your Honor, I actually spoke to Ms. Nicholson because it was her case. She indicated that during the pendency of this case, this defendant wound up having 3 different attorneys. He was in prison already for a violent offense, which was a felony 1 aggravated robbery case, when he assaulted the corrections officer in this particular case. And her position from the beginning was that he should go to prison on this. The fact that he has a parole violation in Montgomery County, I mean, I agree that that's great that they're going to send him back to prison on that. But he only has 96 days on a possible 36-month sentence. And quite frankly, I just feel like if he's going to go to prison, then he should do some time for assaulting a corrections officer while he was in prison the last time.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Engel?
Your Honor, he's indicated to me he's been locked up since August 9th of last year. I know he's got a bunch of days on this case and not a lot left on this case. What I would recommend to the court, and hope the court would accept, is that the court just give him credit for the days that he served on this case, unsuccessfully terminate him from community control here, and let the adult parole authority do whatever it's going to do.
How much time does he have on this charge?
He has 96 days.
96 days, okay. And he was charged with, do you know, Ms. Hyatt, what the injuries were to the officer?
Oh, I can find that out, Judge. And I'm sorry, you did reserve 18 months, because this is a 22 case, just so you know. It was not the full 36 months. You reserved 18 at the time. Let me get to this 1 second. is. Sorry. Okay, so according to the notes at Grant, okay, he struck the corrections officer multiple times in the mouth, causing him to bleed. I may have photographs if the court would want to see that. Actually, to be honest, Your Honor, it's not like blood gushing from his mouth. There appeared to be a cut on the inside of his lip.
So it was basically a misdemeanor assault other than the fact that he's a corrections officer? Well,
There was no no serious physical harm, Your
Okay.
Honor, yes, because this was never a felonious assault case.
okay. Anything else you want to say?
I think he wanted to indicate that I believe his community control time would end probably at the end of June, too.
Okay.
So I think he's close to the end of that time.
Anything you want to say?
Your Honor, I just want to apologize to the court, apologize to probation.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay. Why do you think you're having such a hard time in life?
I don't really.
Maybe it just sounds like it. You've got 4 different charges in Alabama. Were those separate charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
You served prison time here. You're 26 years old. You struck an officer while you were in prison. Why do you think that is?
When I was young, I caught cases in Alabama and Ohio. I went to prison in Ohio and got my time ran concurrent. So I was on parole in Ohio and Alabama.
Okay.
I've been out of prison for 3 years now. I have 16 years. Like, I'm still on parole in Alabama. I know if I would have done anything too wrong, I would have been back to prison already.
Okay.
I've been doing the best I can, but Alabama laws are very different from the state of Ohio laws.
Well, I drove
Most
back
of the-
and forth to Alabama for 16 years almost. So my granddaughter's from that area. Somewhat familiar with the state of Alabama, I guess is all I'm saying. Okay, I cut you off. You were going to say something else. Were you going to say anything else? Were you finished?
The other charges were traffic violations, like
Except for the possession of a
the firearm was me being around a firearm, not being in possession of a firearm.
Okay,
That's why I got the sentence that I got. I didn't have possession. I was in the car with my older brother that I haven't seen in 6 years, and he's a registered firearm holder. He had a gun in the car without my knowledge. I got the charge for being in the car with him while he had the firearm.
Okay.
It wasn't me being in possession of a firearm, because the state of the parole of Alabama would have sent me back to prison for being in possession of a firearm. That's why I wasn't sent back to prison, because I wasn't in possession of a firearm. I've been doing the best I can, but like I said, I got traffic violations. I mean, I got misdemeanors and stuff like that. Other than that was just the only being around the firearm.
Well, there comes a time when we have to change course. So I'm going to revoke your ILC. Start doing what you need to do. Then you're going to do your 18 months. You're much better than this.
Really?
More capable. You keep going back into old habits. Those have to go. Can I make it any more clear than that?
Nope.